Hello and welcome to Hellraiser Boxing Channel. Big night of boxing tonight. Do you know what? I love boxing, and I love that when we've got something to look forward to like we have tonight. It's been a pretty dull last 12 months because of the serious lack of boxing. Tonight we've got a brilliant show, and top of the bill is a fantastic fight. If you love boxing, you're going to love this fight. If you love betting, I think there's a great opportunity here. And this is a fight that I've been looking forward to for ages, and it's a fight that's been delayed and cancelled even once at less than 24 hours notice. And the fight, of course, that I'm talking about is former British Olympian Josh Kelly, who fights David Avanesyan. Now, Kelly has massive height and reach advantages over Avanesyan, but I mean most of Avanesyan's opponents have had over him. Now, Kelly, he's got like a perfect style for amateur boxing. He's actually a very well schooled amateur boxer. I don't see him as being so well schooled in the pros, because a lot of the shortcomings that I would say he had while he was in the amateurs, he hasn't eradicated them yet. And this is a very tough test to take on. While we don't know yet, on the night he might have, since he last boxed, he might have improved. But I mean, last time he boxed a southpaw. I was very disappointed with Josh Kelly's feet in that fight, because there's certain things with your feet that you know, everyone can have their own opinion, but there's certain things with your feet when you're boxing a southpaw that everyone should do, and he didn't do them. I know some southpaws are quite tricky and they position themselves in a way that makes it difficult to position yourself, but Kelly should have been on top of that, and he wasn't, and that puts to me a question mark over Kelly. Also, I think his desire, Kelly hasn't struck me as a sort of guy that really wants to commit himself fully to boxing. I saw some pictures of him earlier this week. He did look in very good shape, so maybe he has now knuckled down more. Maybe he's going to be in tip-top condition, because he certainly looks it. He looks bigger than Avanesyan, not just in height but in size also at the weigh-in. So he's certainly in with a fighting chance here, and he's the favourite. But I've got to say, I have a lot of doubts, because, like I say, firstly the feet. Josh Kelly's a guy who likes to come forward. He's like a flashy. Likes to show his punches. So if you're standing right at the back of the room, you'll see when he connects. You'll see those punches land, which is great. But those aren't always the punches that are the most effective. Avanesyan is a complete polar opposite. He is very tight with his punches. He's very economical. He doesn't waste anything. The punches are certainly less spectacular, but they're probably more effective as well. I'd say he's the more concussive hitter of the two, certainly. Look, we're going to see a fight here tonight that I think you could almost divide in two, because over 3 rounds, I would go for Josh Kelly. I wouldn't hesitate. I'd say Kelly would, if all he has to do is move and jab and use that. He's got good punch variety, Josh Kelly, and he's good at picking. He's accurate at picking his shots. But this is the issue I've got here. This is a 12-rounder, 12 rounds against someone like David Avanesyan. I can tell you, David Avanesyan is a guy who likes to draw his opponents in, likes to get his feet in very close, and he's a highly concussive and damaging puncher on just one shot, but also on combinations of punches where he comes in. And we saw him against Hector Lizarraga when he won the European title the first time, who's a very tough guy that knocked out Bradley Skeet. And Avanesyan just walks him down. They call it in America walking down, cutting off the ring, coming in close, continuously dropping punches. Every time the guy stops, he's on him, and like I said, that's why I call it suffocating him. I think this can be a big problem for Josh Kelly. I really think that they picked the wrong fight here. I know it's for the European title, and I know that Josh Kelly wasn't very impressive in his recent fights. So maybe promotionally, the people that are putting the money in might say, well, now's the time to find out, is this guy actually going to do something or not? Well, I'll tell you what, I've watched Kelly in a lot of fights, and a lot of those fights I've sort of felt, I want to see this guy really put more effort in. I want to see him going, not necessarily going to the well, but going flat out. If he's in with someone that he's miles better, then knock them out, take them out, look spectacular, do something that makes me excited. And he hasn't done it as yet, and he needs to do it tonight. And I'll tell you what, a lot of those fights, I've sort of finished watching Josh Kelly, and my thoughts have been, I want to see whether he can really fight. Now I want to see, well, I'll tell you what, tonight you're going to see that. You're going to find out tonight, yes or no, if Josh Kelly can make it or no he can't, because I've got my doubts. I've got serious doubts. I think Josh Kelly here is a little bit prematurely in a fight against the exact polar opposite of the type of opponents that you'd want to really be fighting if you were him. David Avanesyan will be gobbling up that ring space. Don't be surprised if Josh Kelly is ahead early on, because I think Josh Kelly has certainly got the skills to do that. But in the latter rounds, in the second half of the fight, the pressure on Josh Kelly, because he's never been under anything like the pressure that you're going to see him under tonight, he's going to have to show something above what he has done so far if he's going to get a win here. I've had a lot of people saying about, oh, but the judging, you know, it doesn't matter if he wins the fight, it's will he get the decision. Listen, I don't think this goes to a decision, so I'm not bothered if they have like 50 judges outside and 3 referees in the ring. Avanesyan, this is very frustrating when you've got a fighter and you know your guy is the away fighter, so if it's close maybe it will go the other way, but your guy for whatever reason refuses to engage or come in close. I had Darryl Williams box for a British title. Exactly this what happened. I thought, you know, he has to not just win it, he's got to go and win it really clearly. He's the away fighter, he's got to go and do it. And the truth is, Darryl didn't, on the night, come out of that comfort zone. He sort of held back maybe because it was a step up and it was 12 rounds and like this. Tonight, we're going to see, I think, the away fighter actually drawing the home guy into a position where he has to fight. He has to step up. And I've got to say, look, good luck to Josh Kelly, but I think what he's shown so far, I'm not sold on him. Listen, there's things I don't like. When I see a fighter come out at the start of the round hands high and tight and finish the rounds hand low, I don't like it, right? Maybe it's a tactical decision that was taken by the fighter during the round, but normally it's the corner that said, get your hands up, and when he got tired, the hands come low. Now, against the kind of opponents he's been fighting, because Ray Robinson, I actually thought Ray Robinson beat Josh Kelly, but Ray Robinson put a bit of pressure, but he's not a pressure fighter. Certainly not in the league of Avanesyan. And I think, look, we've not seen Josh Kelly go to the well. We've not seen him under pressure for 3 minutes around. Don't be surprised if by the sort of 3 or 4 round mark, Josh Kelly is miles in front, because I think his style is more suitable for the early part of the fight. But this isn't a 3 or 4 round fight, it's a 12 round fight. Avanesyan is not, I mean, he's a guy who does not give 1 millimetre of space to his opponents. So, whereas normally when I've watched Josh Kelly, I've had this frustrated feeling, thinking, well, I think this guy actually has got a lot going for him, but he's not really shown it. But the opponent hasn't been good enough to actually draw, to make that so obvious. But tonight, the opponent definitely is going to put immense amounts of pressure, far more pressure than Josh Kelly's ever been under before, for 3 minutes a round of 12 rounds. And tonight we know, yes or no, Josh Kelly is going to do something in professional boxing, or no, he's not. Now, my personal opinion, like I say, not just the dropping of the hands, because look, as the round goes on, your reflexes sharpen up, and yeah, okay, you can start to drop your hands maybe because you feel more comfortable with that. But to me, he just looks way too relaxed. And against opponents that he could relax against, okay. But against someone who we know, you can go on YouTube, you can see Avanesyan. He's not a one-trick pony, but his first choice is to engage. His first choice is to grind people down. And don't be surprised if Josh is ahead by 3 or 4 rounds. a lot of people been saying about the judges and, you know, oh, it's on Matchroom, they'll go with the home fight. Look, I don't care if they have 50 judges outside the ring, and I don't care if they have 3 referees inside the ring, because I don't think this fight goes the distance. I think Avanesyan is going to draw Kelly into the fight that Kelly does not want to be in, and I think that Avanesyan will stop Kelly probably around sort of round 7, round 8, round 9. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think it's a brilliant fight. I think you've got to take your hat off to Sky, to DAZN, to Eddie Hearn for keeping these shows going. And, you know, look, let's enjoy it, because this is a fight, even without the crowd, in that sort of muted atmosphere that it creates. I think it's a brilliant night of boxing. Got Ryan Charlton, guy that I promoted early in his career. I've still got a deal with him going now, but obviously he's now signed up with Matchroom. But so I'll earn a few quid there. I'm hoping to earn a few quid because I'm going to have a little tickle on the betting as well. Obviously, don't bet more than you can afford to lose. I'm not betting as much as I would like to bet on it, because I've had a terrible, you know, year business-wise, and you know, I've got family to feed. I'm not going to risk that, but I'm still going to have a little tickle on our friend David Avanesyan, because I think in terms of value, like at the end of the year, when you look at your profit of loss on betting, which you should do if you're doing it long term, what makes the difference on a profitable or a not profitable year is value. Getting value for bets. And listen, this is the best for me. I mean, I've done my calculations on it, and I think it's the best value in a long while, this bet. No guarantees that Avanesyan will win, but I listen, I'm pretty confident that I've got it right. I think the style that he's got is going to be a huge test for Kelly, and I think it's a massive step forward compared to what he's done previously. So my money's going on Avanesyan. Alright guys, enjoy the fight, and I will speak to you afterwards. If you enjoyed the blog, please hit the subscribe button, because we love growing the family. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.